Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! Nick, do you want to go ahead and start off some player introductions, and then we'll do announcements and the recap and get right into it?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play thirtieth Hammerlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
I'm Kay. I play Harmony, the Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I'm Zach. I play Zant, who's the Human Spider Ranger.
I heard Spider Rangers.
I'm a human Spider Ranger.
Spider Ranger.
Jerry would like that one.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human swashbuckler rogue.
Nice. We premiere our episodes every on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Every single YouTube.
Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items as well as a custom wild magic table, so be aware of that as you're watching. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. And our character portraits, which you'll see on the info cards in the top right corner of the screen, were drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, you can check the video descriptions for links and info to everything I just mentioned and more. And you can follow us on Twitter @AntiheroesAnon if you want to know more about what we're doing and when. Other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch more. So, quick recap, and then we'll get right into tonight's game. Sorry, my note app
We're on
is updating
episode
right now.
130, you guys.
Ooh, that's pretty ridiculous.
Job us.
260 hours of content.
Wow.
Great math skills there, DM.
I can only do it on even numbers. So, recap. The Antiheroes are going after a longtime enemy, a night hag named by the name of Mother Midnight in her lair on Malbolg, the 6th layer of the Nine Hells. They arrived in Avernus, the first circle of the Nine Hells, where they must perform 2 tasks. The first of these tasks was to grant a favor to the merchant Mahadi on behalf of their friend Sial. They accomplished this favor by delivering a tiny celestial elephant named Lulu to a mage of some kind named Fëanor, who they discovered lived in a hell wasp nest floating above the crypt of the Shattered Gibbous. The second task, which they're now endeavoring to embark upon, is to recover the sword of Esanahen, which was last seen in the angel Zariel's possession when she descended into Avernus. To that end, the party is currently looking for clues of the sword's whereabout in the crypt of the Shattered Gibbous, where they stumbled upon a horrific creature, and that's where we ended last night.
Giant
Last
meatball demon.
time. So I'll do a quick refresher on what this creature looks like.
I know, that's great.
Even though you guys can see the miniature in front of you, just in case.
Oozing with flavor.
Our friends, our viewers cannot, so it will not it's not on.
The Burger
Oh,
King.
okay.
No, he's showing it to our cam, right?
Oh no, I was showing it to
Oh.
Knockin. This is what it looks like.
You might have to bring it closer. It just kind of looks awful from there.
Like
Some
it
would
has
say
an
like
inside.
vomit.
I know. It looks pretty awful from any angle.
That's true. Anyways, so I apparently described this chamber as a square chamber. I drew it as a circle.
Ethan, I swear to God.
The chamber.
I demand inspiration for my effort.
Backstory for the people at home watching. It took Zach probably 20 minutes to draw a perfect circle on our map. He went through the very extreme effort
It's a
of getting
circular
this
chamber now.
very perfect circle.
In my notes, it's written out as a square chamber. In my map, it's a circular chamber.
Okay.
So,
I'm
That
leaving.
happens.
I'm out.
anyways, regardless of the shape of the chamber, you are faced with a bulbous mass of
The worst episode.
pustulous flesh and cartilage that floats in the middle of the chamber like a vile balloon and oozes dark blood and sickly bile into a shallow pool beneath it.
Zant leaves.
Strong metal chains anchor the creature to the ground and wrap all around it, constricting the flesh and holding it in place. The most sickening aspect of all, however, is the face in the center of the mass that blinks at you with cold intellect in its vile yellow eyes as saliva drips between the sharp pointed teeth visible in its mouth. And then the last horror in this chamber is that pool of blood and bile that is beneath this floating mass of flesh, which will occasionally rear up seemingly autonomously, forming vaguely humanoid shapes before like collapsing under its own weight and sinking back into the bile to be replaced by another crawling form over and over endlessly. And that is the site that you ascend the stairs to find yourself face to face with. You get some music.
Does somebody speak meatball? Do I try to talk to it first?
I don't know if we need to be here at all, to be honest.
What is this thing doing here?
What is it?
Do we need to get around it?
As the group of you step up into the chamber and begin to debate the...
It's chained right to the floor, so it doesn't look like it can.
Doesn't look
reach
like
us.
it kind of like, as you walk into the chamber, it kind of like drifts and sways against its chains in different directions, but it
It's
doesn't...
floating.
Yes,
So
above the pool.
we came here following one set of footprints. Do the footprints stop at the top of this
This was
chamber,
the
or do they wander around?
They kind of wander around, and as you sort of trace the path of the footprints around this room, you see that they walk around the outside of a faint circle of runes in the floor that encapsulates this creature and the pool of bile and blood that is beneath it.
Okay.
And as it sees it kind of follows you, like it's watching you as your eyes follow the path, and then it speaks out and says,
Blub, 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 blub. Burger, meatball.
Well, what brings such interesting creatures as yourselves into my chambers?
and it just kind of is floating lazily in its chains.
What language does it say?
It speaks it out in common.
Okay.
Meatball is not canon, apparently.
Technically, on its languages, it speaks all languages. So
So it does speak meatball.
it does speak meatball.
Well, how's the marinara going with you? No, what do I say to this thing? Hail, we come in peace.
I mean, we're here for your thing, so why don't you take the lead?
Okay. Who are you?
That's kind of what I was gonna ask too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What are
let's
you?
establish what's going on here.
Yeah.
I am one without identity, without person, without self. I am chaos.
Mm.
So, can we determine? I don't know if what it is. Like, is it a demon or a devil or a? It's really.
I can
use
The problem with Divine Sense is Divine Sense will tell me that it's a fiend. I'm like 99% sure it's a fiend.
Sure.
But it won't tell me if it's a demon or a devil.
Yeah. Or like, I guess, is it from this? Is it from the pizza realm, or is it from?
Yeah, I mean, you could roll an Arcana check, I guess. And you could take advantage for your knowledge of fiends.
Okay.
So take them as a favored enemy.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So that's a 21.
21. Okay.
I think. Wait. Yes, 21. Okay.
I think it's fair to assume that it is a fiend of some type, right?
Okay.
And with what it just said, it's safe for Zant to believe that it is probably not a devil.
Yeah.
Since it
Instead of it
named
being
itself
lawful,
as
it's
chaos, right?
chaotic.
And
Chaos
devils
is
are all
the
about
end.
structure and order.
Okay.
Waffle.
Waffle? It's not from the waffle realm. No.
The plane of waffle.
That is another minor plane somewhere else. Okay. So, why are you here, Mr. Chaos?
I've been bound here for nefarious purposes by the one who dwells within this crypt.
Somebody still dwells here?
Oh yes, a vile and evil creature.
Is it the person that's been encircling this area?
It kind of gives you an affirmative look with its eyes, you know, because it can't
Okay,
really
sure.
nod or anything like
Yeah,
that. And it just hisses.
Yes, one and the same.
I see.
It goes by the name Olympius, and it would have you believe.
Olympias?
Olympius.
It would have you believe that it is well, that it is a doomed creature, and it should be pitied, but it is not. It is nightmarish undeath.
Can I get a feel for how old these footprints are that we've been tracking in different places?
They are varied. What you would have known
Right.
from the footprints you've seen so far is that some of them seem very old, some of them seem more recent, and they just seem to go all about this crypt.
And
So-
like, can I get a small range of like a day, or is it like a
Like
week?
there are
or
ones from
years?
several days ago, there are ones from a day ago or the same day.
Okay, so this thing is like walking
Frequently
around
here.
frequent. Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'll ask if Olympius is your enemy, why does he bother keeping you here?
You ask astute questions. He needs me for something.
And that is
Change. Great change. Powerful change. The kind of change that most magic can't bring.
In our research, did we discover a being named Olenthus?
If anyone would know about this, it's Thaddeus.
Okay.
So Thaddeus could roll a strength
Or
check.
Moloch?
yeah, that's Thaddeus' history.
This isn't something Moloch would know about.
Oh, she has pretty good history actually. But I rolled a 12.
12? I think maybe it would ring...
Can I help him?
Sure. Yeah. So
Okay.
you can roll it once more at advantage.
Oh, that's way better. 25.
So Thaddeus, you're struggling to remember where you've heard the name before.
Mm-hmm.
Like it rings a bell, and then Zant, it comes to you when you sort of see Thaddeus thinking about it, and you put it together. It was one of the names on the plaques, the memorial slabs when you came in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
But it's not something that we've discovered in previous tomes and other research
No.
articles. Okay.
One of the names on the memorial plaque, so he's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what the thing just told us, is a creature
undead.
of terrible undeath. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll just straight out ask you, do you know anything about Asanahin's sword?
Its eyes widen with interest, and it says,
Oh yes, I know much about many things.
Can I
If you
roll-
seek knowledge, perhaps we can be advantageous to one another.
Can I roll insight on him?
Sure.
See if he's lying.
Me too. You're probably gonna do better than me.
Because
But...
he's a demon and he can lie.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
Oh, I thought it was better than that. 15.
22.
22, you say?
Yes.
The creature is, at this point, inscrutable. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Mostly because you've never looked a floating massive sack of meat in the face and tried to figure out how to read
Fair.
it, right? You know?
Fair.
Unfair.
It's a little unsettling to look at.
If there's a square ring, I'm sure that would have passed. Yeah, it is a little unsettling. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a look. Like, I don't trust you, but interesting.
Before anyone else can speak, it says,
Is that what you've come here seeking? What you've come to hell in search of? The
One of-
sword of Asanahen?
One of the things, its current location.
I see. And is that the true, deepest desires of your heart?
Oh god.
The things you wish to know the most? As I said, I know a great many things.
and
Does
at
it
that
sound
point,
familiar? Does his voice sound familiar to me? Have I heard this voice somewhere before?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But at that point, a mental note, strikes in each of your heads as you feel something connect with you telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
And to each of you individually, at the same time, it says something different. To Thaddeus, it says,
I recognize the symbol, the holy symbol upon your shield. I know who you serve, and I can put together why you're here.
I
The sword is
literally
one
asked
thing,
you.
I can help you with that. But perhaps there's more I can do to help.
and it sort of, you can feel it scanning, like looking up and down you, and its eyes alight on your hand, the demonic hand,
Oh shit.
and it says,
She won't let that return to normal, not while you're under her power. She finds it delightfully funny. But I can reverse it. My power of transformation and change and chaotic energy is great enough to do
Probably
that.
Zariel.
In Harmony's head, it says, what you are is unmistakable to me. And I know things about your history that are secret, lost, known only to a few, Asmodeus being one of them. I can tell you the secret history of your people, should you wish it. To Mara, it kind of is a more questioning tone. It says, you are a mystery to me. I look at you and I cannot understand why you are here with these people. But if there is anything you wish to know, any bit of knowledge I can provide, any bit of leverage against an enemy, well, perhaps that's something that can be arranged. And Zant, the thing it says to you, I guess, would be pretty akin to Mara's. It kind of can't read you right off the bat, but it offers you sort of the same potential tactical leverage over an enemy. I don't know, any one of you can respond first if you want. This is all happening kind of simultaneously, so.
I'm really curious what Harmony's going to say.
Oh, I thought you'd go first.
Oh. I think that is, I don't know if this is like a telepathic voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is, we'll just cut him off and says, I want what I came here for, and that's it.
The sword then. Well, I can tell you where it is.
And what's your price?
I need to be free. I need to leave this place and return to my plane.
Are you saying this aloud or?
I don't know, this is
This
telepathic.
is their
Okay.
private conversation.
The runes on the floor, they keep me here. The chains, they hold me physically. Break both those things and I can leave.
And where will you go?
To the abyss, where I come from.
Okay. I'm not relating this to anybody yet, but I think that's Valash's conversation.
Okay.
I think that my response probably would have been very similar, like, what do you want in return? What are you asking for? Kind of thing.
Freedom. Something I'm sure you understand the desire for.
There's a reason you've been locked up here.
Because another evil creature needs me for evil purposes.
And what kind of evil purposes are these?
As I said before, great change, transformation it can't accomplish on its own. Magic it has no access to.
Like what?
I do not know the exact details of its plans, but it has something in its chambers across the way, something in which it wishes me to use my abilities on. But it can't do it yet. It requires more of something.
What kind of abilities do you have that they wish you to
Transformation.
use?
Raw and primal transformation is at my beck and call. I can change anything into whatever I wish. Given enough time.
Did I hear you want to say anything too?
I wanted to ask Ethan, does this room is there like a anti-magic field in this room? Or is it like...
I'm gonna ask for a corner.
What?
Is there a corner I can add somewhere?
Corner. Oh, okay.
There's no corners in this
It's
circular
a
room.
circular
You're
room.
the worst of you guys.
I was also gonna ask, while I'm having this conversation, I'm kind of looking around for anything that might, like, similar, anything that's anti-magic or anything protective about, like, the runes that are keeping him locked up.
Yeah,
to
you can
protect him
detect
from
magic
spells.
didn't you?
I did.
So you would know that the runes that surround it radiate an aura of abjuration. But yeah, beyond seeing those runes, I don't think any of you would see any sort of other fields or anything like that.
Can I make like a Arcana check to see if the runes would protect him from spells coming in?
Sure.
Let's try to chaos that.
Good.
Yes! Chaos!
Natural 20.
Okay.
So 28.
There's a spell that perhaps Cial would have mentioned or you would have seen in Cial's work at some point. I don't think it's a sorcerer spell, so it's nothing you could have like learned on your own.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Magic Circle,
Mm-hmm.
and it has two uses. It can keep something in or keep things out.
Mm-hmm.
And this very much looking at the runes evokes the runes are the same as what you saw in Cial's notes, essentially. So it's a magic circle spell.
Right.
As for whether spells can go through that, you would believe that they could. It's more for holding creatures.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think maybe it merges the telepathic conversation between Mara and Zant into one, so that you're both in there together and you can feel the connection.
It's canon!
And it says,
Mm-hmm.
Surely you came to hell to do something with the Sword of the Sun, and you don't mean to obtain it and leave. Surely there is...
Is Thaddeus in the conversation with us? Or
Nope.
just us two?
just you two.
Surely there is some foe you've come to smite. I will let you know now, but I know a great many things and weaknesses about a great many fiends that roam this plane and the planes beyond.
I think I'd cut him off and say,
It said it had no
right now it's none of your business. And
identified itself to you.
until we collaborate all together, I'm not going to answer your questions.
It says,
Understood, but be aware that my knowledge includes even the thing that would give you ultimate power over certain foes. True names.
I'll just like, okay, but
yeah, it kind of lets your telepathic conversation drop there.
sure.
Whatever, dude.
I say out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you were to be set free, what would you do?
Leave this place.
And do what?
Return to my home plane. Bury myself in the depths of the abyss so that I can never be enslaved again.
I want an insight check on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
too.
Who's got the best insight here? 'Cause I think we're all.
I think
I have
he
+8.
It's
Okay.
me too.
Yeah, roll a with advantage because we all want to know.
I got a
Woo,
natural 20, and that's 28 total.
And what is it you're trying to find out?
If it's telling the truth about
Yeah.
its intentions.
Yeah, exactly.
You get the sense that, yes, long term it probably does want to go back to the abyss and bury itself there, but whether that is the extent of what it would want to do, probably not.
Okay.
So, can I ask it still telepathically, or did the link break when he
The
pieced
link
out?
broke.
Oh, okay.
I also want to know if his HP is higher than mine.
Sure. What's your HP?
194.
It is higher.
Okay. So he's pretty strong. So I don't know why he can't break the spell himself. That's why I'm confused about. But
So I'm wondering if
or whatever is binding him. Yeah.
what if we go check out where this other creature is, or person, or whatever being that's holding him captive? Why don't we go find him first?
I think it might be actually a good idea to get both sides of this story.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back and
It's not
Or
like
not.
he can go anywhere.
Yeah, it's not like he's
Mhm.
going-
Also, this guy, this thing
The
isn't in our
captive
agenda
audience.
either. So
Mhm.
Yeah, although, well, I'll wait until we're out of the chamber to tell them.
Okay. You turn around, and Harmony, you're at the top of the steps. As you turn around and look down the stairs, there's a figure there standing in
Oh.
dark plate
That's
armor.
convenient.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Its eyes visible in the helmet it wears, glowing orange embers
Oh shit.
staring up at you.
Oh shit.
On its chest plate of its plate armor is a waxing gibbous moon that has been scratched such that it looks like it has been completely fractured into several pieces.
Or shattered, shall we say?
It holds in its hand a wicked-looking dark steel longsword that is has spikes that come out of the pommel into the hilt. And it is just looking up at you for who knows how long. It approached absolutely silently. And as you turn around and look at it, it just says, "Who are you? What are you doing in my crypt?" And roll initiative.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't have a mini for this guy. There he is.
Hey, I just didn't roll a crap initiative for once.
I did.
What was that word? Defector or whatever?
Yeah.
Is he a defector too? Since give us this
Probably.
scratch
I
out.
assume so.
Let's get some music.
I think this guy used to decide for us who we're going to side with.
He just decided for us.
Yeah. We were like, let's hear both sides. And he was like, I'm not telling you my side. Die.
Mm-hmm.
my side isn't going to kill you.
Juicy combat. Right after I prime type the house too. This will be fun.
So good. I think my favorite thing about Harmony is that you never save Tides of Chaos for like the important things. Any failure at all, no matter how slight or unimportant, it's like, nope, gonna Tides of Chaos that.
Well, because I can get it back
Yeah.
after I cast a
Did you
spell.
I
get
know,
13?
that's what makes it funny.
And
So
you can
there's-
now roll twice and choose either.
Dang.
Yeah. There's
If
really
you got a
no
13, we would have had a straight.
You're
There's
supposed
really
to
no
roll
Wow,
the
look at
chaos.
you.
Yeah.
I know, and I don't like it.
I played her like that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
You shouldn't have such
because
a high
I wanted Wild
dexterity
Magic to
score.
I
trigger
love it,
too.
yeah.
And even improved initiative, right? Like, can't complain
Alright,
about
you're
that. You
fantastic.
picked a class that's gonna go first.
Are you upset because you're going first?
Yes. Got a 23.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow, not bad.
You did pick the class.
Well,
that's
I
known
think I
for
know what
going
I'm gonna
first.
do. That's the thing, is I like to sit back and assess
Well,
the situation first. But
Next
that's not Mara,
next
is it?
campaign, next
Yeah.
campaign, that'll be you.
Yes.
Next campaign, it'll be him going first every
Okay,
time.
Mara, you
Eventually,
are without a doubt up first.
Okay.
Let me switch on the napkin before I forget.
Please do. Thank you for shrinking your figure.
Those pens out of the way. All right, Mara. What would you
I
like to
would
do?
like to
Rage. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
whip out my lovely whip
Okay.
and try to whip it around the sword and take it away from him.
Okay. You can make a strength check, I suppose, in the place of an attack.
So that's a +2.
Well.
12. Your whip wraps around the blade, and you pull on it as hard as you
Oh,
can,
man.
and he just holds tight to it.
Okay, I have a bonus action, and he's trying to kill us, so I'll throw my offhand dagger.
Okay.
Please do
Oh,
your
that's
turn.
way better.
Better, so that's a 30.
Okay. Yes, that hits.
Okay, so offhand, so it's just
And then
But
the
you
extra
get sneak
damage for
attack,
that.
No,
right?
no,
No.
not
Not-
with a thrown
not on
weapon.
my-
This is like the one case where she doesn't get a sneak
Oh.
attack.
6. Oh, plus.
No,
No
no
plus.
Oh, no,
It's offhand.
offhand. Okay.
6 points of damage. Very
First
nice.
right.
There it is. Trophy.
Okay.
Shit, what do we even have left?
Oh no. It doesn't all appear on this page. Shoot. I need to open the page. Because something
Gotta
happens.
get better with my whip. I thought you trained me better than that.
It's about your
It was all about your
physique.
physique.
Yeah.
More body strength, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whip worked fine. It was the user end.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't use
Use
that,
it,
really.
Can't train your muscles. Yeah. Flabby muscles.
It can't see Zant. It can see Thaddeus. A black cord of dark energy ripples out from its sword and it lashes its sword towards Thaddeus, and the energy connects with him and sort of then lingers in place, linking the two of you together.
Okay.
Lulu's up.
So now there's like a tether between Thaddeus and this thing?
Yep. Lulu doesn't really know what's going on, does she?
Did she ever?
I think Lulu only has one trumpet left for the day. She's gonna hang back by Bianco for now.
Okay.
Someone else can
That's
just
fine.
move over there. She just says, "Hey, everyone, what's going on?" And then she moves back towards Bianco and she can see the creature down there, and she says, "Oh, that's bad." But that's all that she does on her turn.
Okay.
Bianco.
Yeah, I think since we're definitely fighting this thing, Byaku's gonna pounce at it and do an attack. And he has to make a DC 12 strength saving throw. Oh wait, no, we changed that. It's DC 18 now.
Yep. That
Or be
was
knocked
leveled up.
prone. Get him, Byako. That is a
He passes his saving throw.
threats. That's a 21 to hit.
That does hit though.
So this is
Doesn't he only
a
have to make the saving throw if you hit?
he hit.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
like
even have to
in
roll.
the future.
Yeah, that was not correct. You're right. That was not correct.
It's like, hang on.
Yeah.
If he misses.
I don't even have to roll. Is he a fiend?
Nope.
Okay, so then that is plus. So it should be 11 damage.
Okay.
I don't know why I did that. That's strange.
Anything else for Bianco?
Nope.
The fleshy creature behind you shouts out telepathically to each of you. You're all sort of linked together. It says, "This is him, Olanthius, the master of this crypt. Now's your chance. Free me. I will help fight." That's its turn. Zant.
Nothing happened to Thaddeus when Byako hit this thing, right?
Oh, actually, yes, they would have.
Oh, dang it! I was like, oh, maybe this isn't
He
so
did
bad.
11 damage.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It's 11.
Okay. You take 5 damage.
Oh, great.
Okay.
And then also, before I forget, before Xant's turn, something else happens.
Before Sam's turn?
The
Byako just
creature lets out a deafening roar as it just shouts out in anger from as Byako is clawing at it. And as it does so, this pulse of necrotic energy ripples out from it, and everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this
Do I
a
have to make it?
magical effect?
It is a magical effect.
Then I have advantage.
Do I have to make it so you can't see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone has +5 to this, though.
You want to give +5 to the Sibri X? the demon behind you?
No.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
21.
We're making a what check?
Con.
Constitution saving
Okay.
throw.
18 plus 5, 23.
Anyone who got less than an 18 takes 17 necrotic damage. And the wounds done to this creature by Byakko and Mara up to this point close up.
So if we got higher than an 18, what happens?
Then you would take half of that damage.
So 8.
Yeah.
Oh, so we take 8.
Then it's Zan's turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna call out to Olenthius and say, I'll say, Olenthius, we did not come here to fight you.
Do you want to use your turn to make like a persuasion check or something?
I don't want to do that.
That's exactly what you just
But that
did.
is what I'm doing. So I guess so.
Okay.
Someone else can do it too, maybe. But let's see. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 19.
A 19.
Plus 0.
Yeah. It. Doesn't relent in its attack, but you see it waver a little bit.
Okay.
Thaddeus.
I think Thaddeus is also gonna try and persuade it. He's gonna say, "Listen," and he holds up his shield. "I need to talk to you before this continues."
When you hold up the shield, its eyes burn brighter orange. But roll your persuasion check.
No. Afraid you're about to say at disadvantage now. Let's see. That's a 24.
24.
So much better than mine.
Plus 11, man.
I know.
It shouts back to you through its helmet. You're a servant of Asanahan, I can see that now. But she betrayed us and left us to rot in this hell.
Then tell me about it.
Okay. He holds his sword to his side for the moment, but it's tense. We can pause combat there for a second.
I didn't even get my turn, you bitches.
I mean, it's your turn if you want to do something.
I was also going to do a persuasion check.
Okay, yeah. Make your bid. He's still tense. You can
Calm
make
down,
Bitches.
fireball.
Fireball! No, I was going to say, we're here to right the wrongs. Please, just drop your weapon.
I can't do that. But I'll listen to what you have to say. And roll your persuasion check to see if you can set him a little bit more off edge.
16?
16. Okay.
don't think
It
it's
doesn't. It
11.
doesn't seem to like he still is
Like
holding
high
the sword. He
character.
doesn't sheath it or anything like that. But he stands up because Byakko had Byakko didn't
No.
knock him down. Right.
Yeah.
I just put Bianca there because it was funny.
He takes a step back from Byakko. He looks up into the room. He kind of has to like climb up past Byakko, I think, to stand sort of close to Harmony. And he sees that the demon creature is still chained there, and he says, "Fine. I see you haven't unleashed my captive. That's 1 point in your favor." And he turns around and descends the stairs and heads into the hall across the way.
Does he drag me with him?
Nope. And after a brief moment, the tether between the two of you does
Oh,
fade.
okay. Phew.
So, yeah, I guess we'll follow him.
Well, let's go visit this guy in his chambers.
Get some answers, hopefully.
I'll make sure Lulu's tagging along. Not getting swayed by this meatball.
Yeah. Lulu doesn't even seem to like pay any attention to the sack of flesh in the room. Like she just kind of
Good girl,
turns her
Lulu.
nose up to it and flies
Keeping it
out.
real. Okay. But
Sure,
that's,
Leave
When
the
you
air
come
home.
into the room across the way, you see that it is a very sparsely appointed room. There's almost nothing in there. There's a stack of like 8 leather-bound books that rest atop a large writing table with some writing utensils. There's like a bottle of ink, maybe. It also could be blood of some kind. It's hard to tell because it is dark in here. The only other noteworthy thing in the room is a workbench that has a set of feathery, glowing angel wings set atop it that drip with bright red blood that then falls to the floor and kind of pools there. He stands in the center of the room, turns to assess the group of you, and his eyes fall on Lulu, and he grips his sword tighter and says, "What are you doing with this creature? Why have you brought it here?"
It's looking for Zariel the same as we are. We're trying to find the location of Sanhen's sword.
"That's right. We're trying to find my best friend," she says. And the knight across the way from you replies, "Zariel's not your best friend, you dumb creature. She abandoned you, just like Asanahen abandoned the rest of us." And Lulu just kind of looks sad. But then she kind of gets contemplative, like she's trying to think hard about something, but it's a little bit unclear what.
So, tell us about this.
"I think it's you who needs to speak."
I've said my piece. That's why Sanahen sent me here to find her blade. Recover it. And Dice like jerks his head back toward the big hamburger monster. And says, "That thing offered me the location. But I thought it best to hear your story first."
"The sword's locked away where no one else can get to it. That creature you're traveling with made sure of it." And he nods at Lulu. And Lulu's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about."
we need to get more friendship levels.
Yeah.
"And you find the sword, and what will you do with it?"
I think it's bound up in something else that we don't quite understand. But
I think so.
That's
Asanahen
the
told
way
me,
it always is with Asanahen. Everything is for her greater purpose, but then she leaves you behind to rot in hell. You're just a pawn in her game.
I know.
She sent Zariel down to this hell to watch over it. Simply watch over it, knowing that Zariel was the type of angel that couldn't simply watch. She knew this outcome would come, and she let it happen anyways. You tell me what kind of god that is, who would do that to her most devoted follower.
I'm her most devoted follower now, and I'm here too.
Then your fate will be the same as Zariel's. Same as mine.
Can I roll insight on him?
Yep.
To see if he's like upset about something else that he's not saying. That's a 23.
23. There is
There's a bunch of
clearly
different
some
resentments.
sort of history here that you're not privy to.
Yeah. So I'll just maybe just lightly shoulder Thaddeus and say, "There's more to this story."
I think I
As
can
this
guess it.
conversation is taking place, the spectral forms of ghostly knights, all wearing the armor and regalia of Asanahen's paladins and clerics, begin to come through the walls and gather around the group of you.
Oh shit.
And they're all just kind of staring blankly.
Are they just illusions, or are they like, I don't know?
They kind of like step out of the walls and up from the floor, and that sort of thing. And before you know it, you are surrounded by ghostly figures.
So what's this thing that you're working on? With the flesh beast help.
He gestures to the wings on the table. I need its power for those. I'm going to stitch them back to the back of Zariel.
And what will that accomplish?
Nothing on its own. In the right circumstances, though, it spells my freedom.
Are you trapped here?
Yes, we are all trapped here. And he gestures to all of the paladins and clerics that now surround him in ghostly form.
What trapped you?
You shouldn't have to ask. You're effectively her spiritual successor. Zariel, of course. When she turned, she bound us all. And now we cannot depart.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna reach out, I guess, my like weird clawed hand and touch this guy, and try and use try and dispel the magic. Cleansing touch. You can use your action to end.
Yeah, read it out to me.
You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch 5 times per long rest.
You try to channel the power of Esanahen to break whatever hold is on this creature, and your ability is rebuffed.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Esanahen is the master here. Zariel is.
But when you reached out, he definitely recoiled. Like you touch him for a second, and he feels the power, and he recoils back from it and like takes a physical step back.
I thought it was worth a try.
She's as powerless here as you are.
That's not true.
Zariel is everything. At
She's
least
only-
on this plane.
I guess it is true that she's as powerless here as I am, because I am her power here.
That's a fine turn of words, but it means effectively nothing. Unless you can help me accomplish what I need to do.
I want to butt in for a sec.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask Olympius, does your captivity here have anything to do with your upstairs neighbor?
He looks confused for a second and then says, "Oh, pitiful necromancer who lives in the hive? No,
Two completely separate
she's
things.
inconsequential to
Okay.
everything."
I see.
Can I take Lulu aside
Mm-hmm.
and kind of start?
She's like scratching her head with her trunk. She's clearly puzzled about something. She's thinking.
Yeah, I want to try to calm her down and try to help her realize that her memories to where she might have locked away the sword would help Thad. And try to help her try to remember better. And I'll promise her a treat of some sort.
I overhear you. I come over and I say, I might have an idea, but let's talk about that later.
Okay.
Sure. Roll a. I suppose this would just be like a straight charisma check, and unless you can think of something else, it should be.
Acrobatics, because I'm really good at acrobatics.
Convince her
Watch me
with
do a
grace.
handstand. Yeah.
Juggle.
Okay, so not persuasion. What did you say?
Just a
Yeah.
general charisma check. I
Charisma,
suppose it could be
charisma.
persuasion if you have persuasion.
Oh, charisma's 3.
No, that's the saving throw.
Where is it?
It's right there.
On the side.
Oh, on the side. Okay,
+3.
it is +3. Okay. Oh, nat 20.
Oh, really? Okay.
23.
Dang.
Lulu. Lulu's eyes get really big as you come over and try to comfort her and start explaining to her how useful it could be if she remembered where the sword was. And finally, you can see a light bulb go off in her head, and she says, "Oh, I've got it. No, not where the sword is. I don't remember that. But I know something." And she looks at Olanthius and says, "I know you. I know where I know you from. I know where I know your name." And Olanthius turns his burning coal-like eyes towards her and says, and just kind of like looks darkly at her. But Lulu, not picking up on it, continues onward, and she says, "You were her lieutenant, one of two, right? It was you and Haruman. I remember. It was Zariel and Yale, then you and Haruman, and then all of the rest of her paladins and clerics." And then her eyes get really sad, and she says, "And how did you come to be this way? We were friends before, don't you remember?" And Olanthius just kind of shakes his head and says, "I'm a completely different person from the Olanthius you knew back then, Lulu. Remembering it doesn't do a thing."
I wonder what would happen if I banished him.
That's an interesting thought.
If he's trapped here, where does he belong? Would that set him free, or would he just come back here?
Probably
and
just,
live it?
I don't know. My guess would be he'd come back here. Based off our research, do we have a sense of time of when when Zariel fell to evil and this whole stuff happened?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
Let me go to the website where information about this campaign is stored.
Timeline of some sort?
Yes, a timeline of some sort. It wasn't, I mean, in terms of like the overall history of your world, it wasn't too long ago, but it's a very long history of the world. So, let's see. It would have been,
I like that bookmark.
That's cool.
at this point, maybe 2,500 years ago, something like
Oh,
that.
it's nothing.
I mean, compared to the length of the history of the world,
It's actually not that long.
Okay.
it's actually not that long.
Okay.
For your reference, the year that you're in now is 7,514. So
Okay.
it is a long history that this world has.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to tell Atlantis that I don't believe that Asana had abandoned you, but I believe somebody has, and I would like to help you.
Explain. Go on.
You were part of my order once, and I don't feel like I could turn my back on you.
I don't think you need to make another check. So you can see that, like, from his body language, like, he relaxes quite a bit. Like, maybe he sheaths his sword at this point. And he says, "So what? You're not going to turn my back on me. What are you going to do?" Zariel is the ultimate power in this place, and she holds me here.
In exchange for that,
What do you...
looking at the wings.
You can do something about that?
I don't know. I'm trying to gather information. I'm trying to figure out a plan, but I need more information first.
Okay. He goes over and sort of stands next to the table that is holding the wings with the blood dripping off of them. And he looks down at them, so he's not looking at you as he continues to talk. But he says, "We rode with her against the forces of hell and the abyss. We slew demons and devils alike. We pushed further and further into the nine hells. Layer after layer we conquered. They were bowing before us. They couldn't stand our onslaught. Until we reached the 5th layer. And then Asmodeus launched a plan, and it was devastating to our forces. Zariel fell. And I don't mean was defeated, I mean she fell. She was utterly and outright bested by the hordes that stood against her. We saw that we were lost. Many deserted. Perhaps you saw them on your way in here. Others stood and tried to fight, to bring Zariel back, to raise her as our champion again. But we couldn't stand against the forces of hell. And on the 5th layer of the 9 hells, we were broken. While the forces most loyal to Zariel tried to make their last stand, she cried out, told everyone to flee. And we, being her lieutenants, backed her order. But we would stand with her to the end. It was our duty. And then he arrived. The king of evil himself, ruby rod in hand, as Modius rose from the oceans of Stygia. And he ripped the wings from her back. She cried a single tear. And then in a flash of fire, we were elsewhere. He tortured us for thousands of years, it felt like. Pain became our existences. And finally, one day, she gave him the one thing he wanted. She consented to becoming his pawn. He offered her what she really desired, the opportunity to face the onslaught of the abyss in his name. And she took it. When she asked if we would stand with her, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't take what she'd become, the fiery creature with a wreath of flame around her head where her radiant halo should have been. And I threw myself upon a devil's sword, convinced that it was the end for me. Not a very glorious end, but I couldn't bear it. It was supposed to be the end. But she played her first cruel trick. He brought me back as this. He gestures to himself. Now I'm bound to serve her evil forever. And it's not even at this point the evil that bothers me. I've done horrible, horrible things. I'm numb to it. I just want to be done. And he gestures towards the wings and says, but there's only 2 ways out, from what I can tell. Zariel dies, and some other evil power takes up rulership of this plane, or I find a way to restore her to what she was. This is step 1, and he gestures towards the wings.
I kind of, like, me, Zach, is wondering what Asanahan's, like, her feeling, like, when she was conveying to Thaddeus how she felt about Zariel, if it was, like, still, like, loving, or if it was, like...
It wasn't anything. Like, she didn't ask me to kill Zariel, or she didn't ask me to talk her out of it, or anything. All she wanted was
the sword. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see.
So you can kind of see why this guy thinks that he was abandoned here. Why they were all abandoned here.
And then in his story, is he, like, emphasizing that he wants to be free, or he wants all of his, like, platoon, I guess that's here, to be free?
The way he frames it is that he wants to be free.
Okay.
But the story he spins does imply that they are all
They're all bound?
bound.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you in contact with Zariel? Is there any way... I don't know how you're going to get these wings back on her without bringing her here.
He nods and says, she keeps me around. Draws pleasure and strength from my pitiful existence. Haruman and I are, as always, among her top lieutenants.
Where is he?
He just kind of like gestures with like frustration, and just says, wherever she's bid him to be. When I threw myself on the sword, he bent the knee. none of us are anything like what we were before, but he's gone.
That wasn't one of the names that what's his face told us they can get an audience with, right?
It was. Yep.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Oh, okay. I remember Discord, but I didn't remember Harmon.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I think we discounted Harmon because we were like, oh, we don't want to meet with the devil. Let's meet with a tiefling instead.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Huh. Oof. This guy, man, I keep like racking up people that like aren't even part of our quest, but like, oh, I gotta help this guy.
It's all right.
He's a sucker for a poor, pitiful me story.
I don't think it, like, even just not anybody, but like, this guy used to be a paladin of Sanahan. I feel
That's
bad
true.
for him.
That's true.
Thaddeus would know.
It's a noble quest.
Because you have, that divine sense.
Uh-huh.
Like, this is not a good creature.
No, I mean, he just said he was evil.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
But he's an evil creature who also put down his sword against us, so obviously he still has some sense
Yeah.
of self.
And
So-
he's doing it in a terrible way that won't work, but he's also trying to do something good, which is restore an archdevil to an angel.
Mm-hmm.
Many layers to this.
I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all have heard all this?
Well, I think that we have these.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really get involved
We can't
without
kill...
breaking our contract.
I agree. We can't kill Zariel, but...
I guess it sort of depends on where the secrets of this sword are. If this
Yeah.
helps us in our overall,
The whole reason we're here is to get the sword.
yeah, if this helps us achieve that goal by some way, then I'm in, but
And
No, I know. We can't save everybody in hell. I know that.
yeah. If it's something that we just happen across on the way, I'm okay with it too. I mean, it doesn't seem like a bad thing to try and restore a...
this seems
Angel.
like another epilogue episode.
Our second epilogue.
Yeah.
Return to the Hells.
Return.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah. C2, what? What?
It's kind of like when we rescued Genbu from the forces of Orin.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing where maybe, what's her name? Zariel is under some influence that can be broken.
Well, she is, but that influences Asmodeus.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
it lightly, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So getting the sword is step one.
Maybe
If
you
the sword is
can,
1, then this could be 1A.
That's what I mean. And then
Yeah.
step two comes after it, freeing
Yeah,
Zariel.
potentially.
Maybe you can contact Asanahin and see what she thinks about all this.
I don't contact Asanahin, she contacts me.
You have to have some way of what do you do every morning when you sit on the floor and close your eyes? Are you just taking another nap? She gives you your magic every morning, right? Maybe
It's true.
you can just reach out or something.
There is a paladin, or at least there's a cleric spell. I don't know if there's a paladin spell that's like guidance or something.
There's commune and
Yeah, commune, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's a paladin spell though.
Did we research on what powers the Sword of Asanahan has? Can it do...
You didn't really
Exemplary
find anything out
things.
about that.
Okay, it's just a sword in legend.
No, it's
Sort of.
also an
The
oath
only
of
thing
devotion.
we learned is that
Or an oath
Oh,
of heroism,
I
but
see.
neither
it
of
was
those
just
is
sort of
a-
like a fun fact.
The sword is lost.
Right, yeah, but the thing you learned was that in Elendal there are a group of legendary blades that were crafted by the elves or given to the elves. That
Mhm.
was a bit unclear. But they were all patterned after the Sword of Asanahan, even though they were all unique in their own ways. But you didn't learn anything as to the powers of the sword.
Interesting. Okay.
all I'm saying is maybe we table this,
Yeah,
get some sleep,
go off
find the sword,
in another direction, because I don't think I can set this thing free.
and then maybe we'll come across something in our travels.
Maybe we'll come across a pensive and Lulu will remember.
I do want to ask Olanthius if he knows anything about an eye in the moon.
Yeah, that's a good question. Olanthius's eyes narrow as much as they can for being like flames in the middle of a dark helmet. And he says, It rings a bell. There was a prophecy, I think, back when I was a paladin in Asanhen's service. More of a warning passed down in the clergy. I don't know what it means, though.
I guess I'll tell him, I don't think that this, and he pointing again to the wings, I don't think this is the way to do what you want. But I think what you're trying to do is good. And if I can find anything, if I can do anything along our travels to help you, I will.
He looks at you for a second, trying to gauge your sincerity, and when he finds that sincerity in your eyes, he says, like I said, this was only part 1 of the plan. Part 2 is more difficult, but it can't work without it. I don't think it can anyways. When Zariel was broken in Stygia, she shed a tear. The tears of an angel are a pure and good thing. It's lost somewhere deep in the depths of those oceans. But if it could be found,
We are on our way there to find something else.
with the tear and the wings and the sword. And he nods and says, perhaps.
Do you know anything about the sword?
And then he also kind of looks at Lulu as he says it, as if in his mind he's thinking, and Lulu, like she's another part of this too.
Uh-huh.
But when you ask about the sword, he says, I don't know where it is.
Alright.
That was part of the plan. When Zariel fell, she entrusted the sword to Lulu and to Yale, and the two of them flew off with it to hide it and safeguard it.
Who's Yale?
Zariel's lieutenant, or her original lieutenant, an angel.
He wasn't listed in the names of people, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, keep watch over the wings, and I hope someday I may return with the tear and the sword, you know, Asana and willing.
He nods and sits down at his writing desk, kind of lets out a sigh, and then waves a hand dismissively and says, fine. You're free to go.
Let's go.
Nicely done.
But you read from his sigh
Yeah, he
that
doesn't.
he
Well,
does not at all believe
No.
you're coming back.
No.
But at this point, he doesn't have the will to just kill you.
People have underestimated us before.
The last thing he says as you're turning to file out of the room is directed towards Harmony. And he says, you'll need to be careful.
Me?
Yes.
Why? I mean, obviously, but why?
Zariel will take an interest in you. Just take me on my word. The longer you can fly under her radar, the better.
What does Zariel want with a little tiefling?
She's quite fond of another. And
Yeah, her Lieutenant Discord, right?
yes. And
What's that got to do with me?
He's marked for death, and you're the only one who can stop it. But unfortunately, the only way you can stop it is by dying yourself.
That's intense.
Just take care. And then he pulls open one of his books and just begins writing in it, as if he's dismissed you entirely.
I don't think there's anything in this crypt for us.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I think we
I'm-
we found what we were looking for.
I'm not
Anything.
setting that thing free. I think
No,
it's a
let's
terrible
get out
idea.
of here.
No,
Yeah.
I understand.
Um,
This is where our
well,
night ends.
what if we could get some answers without setting it free, though?
And what's your plan?
You know, just a little tiny magical.
Tickle?
Alright.
Magical tickle.
Manipulation.
Magical
I don't think
persuasion.
the suggestion trick is gonna work, but you're welcome to try.
You don't think so?
Go for it.
I mean, the circle it's keeping him in, it's not keeping stuff out. I think.
You think?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've never cast it before, but I remember reading it in Ciel's notes.
Okay. Give it a shot.
I run up up the stairs to the secret room again.
Okay.
I'm back.
The creature floating there, massive flesh that it is, stares balefully at you. And you hear in your mind its voice.
Ah, so you've settled things with Lanthius, have you?
Sure, he's
I don't
great.
see
What a
any
peach.
Scars on your person, so I presume
Just a
you're
little
not
bit.
here to free me then.
Well, no. But I did want to suggest that you tell me everything you know about the history of the tieflings. That suggestion.
Okay.
And wild magic.
What kind of save is it?
Oh my god, that's
Is
beautiful.
it wisdom?
I believe so, but let me double check.
It succeeds.
It's wisdom. By how much? What did
By
it
a
roll?
legendary resistance.
Oh.
Only there's a certain number of those.
That's true. Wild magic goes up.
And you've got several second level spell slots.
I've got one more second level spell slot left. Okay, what am I rolling? I'm rolling these things.
Hey, do we want to sleep in the crypt?
Well, we should
As
probably
awkward as that
tell
sounds, I don't
our
mind
friends
it.
about it.
As
I mean,
much
nothing
as-
else is down here except for Elanthius, and he seems okay with
I
this.
rolled 15
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
18.
thinking. It's probably the most safe place we actually have in hell right now.
Oh, I'm
Those
not looking at the
Ghosts
sheet. I
all
don't know.
around us gonna
Yeah,
moan
let's
and
do
keep us up all
15.
night.
What were you saying?
Let's definitely do 15.
Surrounded by ghost stuff. They're gonna moan and wail all night.
Can't be any
Oh,
worse than your
creepy.
ship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is that your story?
Yep. It was that or 18, and I was like, nope!
Should have done 18.
Nope! We're not dealing with that right now. We need to sleep. I almost summoned a gelatinous cube.
Oh.
Oh, those are like nothing though.
Ugh. I don't think I've ever actually fought one before. But no, we're doing the other one.
Aren't those like challenge rating like 2 or something? Like they're not.
Okay, so it doesn't work.
Nope.
No apparent effect. So I'm just gonna be like,
It just chuckles low. No, child, that won't work on me.
it was worth a try. Bye!
And
And I
as you
leave.
turn your back, it casts a spell.
I counterspell it.
You need to roll.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna cast counterspell at 5th level.
Still need to roll.
Okay. What am I rolling again? Arcana? No.
Your spellcasting
Ma-
modifier.
oh, thanks.
Fire. It basically begins as you turn around.
Wait, so just a +5?
Yeah.
It turns, as you turn around, it begins to chant a quick spell, but as you hear it chanting, you turn around and begin to counterspell it.
17?
Do you have to decide to use Tides of Chaos before or after I tell you the results?
Before. But oh yeah, I did just. Yeah, why the hell not? I'll use it again.
Yes.
Wait, but
Burn your actions.
Did you mean the other thing?
Huh? What do you mean the other thing? Tides of Chaos lets me get advantage.
I know, but I was talking about,
Oh, bend luck?
yes, that thing.
You can't use that on yourself.
Oh, okay.
Bend luck? Yes, I can.
Can you?
Yeah?
Ugh. I forget all your abilities.
It just says a creature's attack roll that I can see.
Oh, this is an attack roll then.
Or not just attack roll. Attack roll, ability check, saving throw.
Oh, yeah, ability check. This is one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you could also.
I'll do that
cast
too
Bend
then
Luck
because.
if that's what you want.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea because I rolled shit with my Tides of Chaos.
I thought that's what you were going to do to begin with.
Oh,
you go.
there it is.
Okay, so that was a +4, so that's a 21.
Okay. The spell fizzles and it just as you leave the room.
Wait, what did he say to me when my spell failed?
Doesn't work on me, child. Or that won't work on me,
Something
child, or
like
something.
Something. I say that back to him, and then I walk downstairs.
It just kind of fumes after you.
Did you say it sizzles?
I was
It
gonna say.
fumes.
You're gonna say that too?
You say it broils a little bit?
Yeah, you know, getting the room the temperature.
I'd be
You
like,
stuck a
alright
meat
guys,
thermometer in it, it almost be cooked.
we should probably
Yeah,
at
aroma
least
in
go
here.
let
Ooh.
Cecilia and them know that we're okay.
It drips
hungry.
with ketchup
Yeah.
in here.
And maybe we could all sleep outside the crypt.
Or inside the crypt.
Or inside the crypt. There is something that I
Crypt
wanted to
kicker
try
5.
before we sleep. But
I do want to go out the way we didn't go before.
Okay, it's essentially mirrored.
Okay, fair.
There's not too much else to see.
I have a rules question. If I use Wish to cast a spell of 8th level or lower, am I casting it at a 9th level?
No.
What am I casting it at? It doesn't
Listen
say
up,
in the
so.
spell description, that's why I'm asking.
I believe it would be cast at the level it is normally at.
Fuck.
That's how monster abilities work usually too.
That's
If it's-
stupid. Because
it's-
I'm wasting a
Hmm.
9th level, or I'm using a 9th level spell slot, it should always be cast at a 9th level, no matter which spell I'm casting. Because it's a 9th level spell.
Let me read Wish.
It doesn't say in the spell description, that's why I'm asking.
If
There
this
might be
place is
something
mirrored, does that
that's
mean there's
wrong with
another large meatball creature?
He's at the mirror inflection point.
Oh, is he? So, okay, right, half? Okay. That's not how I drew it.
It's a half a serving.
I drew it there'd be 2 meatballs in this dungeon.
Yeah, I think it would be at the level it's normally cast at.
Even if it's a spell that can be different if you cast it at higher levels.
I'd have to look it up and see if like there's been like
Let's see.
an official Jeremy
3 times.
Crawford ruling on it, but that's what I would say.
Then look it up for next
Right
time.
now,
Not
okay.
right now, for next time,
Alright,
because
sure.
I have an idea, but it only works if I can cast the spell at a 9th level.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're gonna go out and tell.
Yeah, tell Carl and Cecilia
Mhm.
and Simon.
Sure.
That we're
You work your way back out the crypt,
Mhm.
past the large stone monuments inscribed with names. All the way you are followed by the ghostly warriors that just kind of trail after you.
Right, an
soundlessly.
entourage.
Until you
We really dig this script.
Popular. Yeah.
exit the crypt and find yourselves back out in front of the dark rock mound that it is dug into. Looking up on the hill that is surrounded by the iron trees, the gilded war machine that was up there is gone now. It is completely disappeared. And so too has the hell wasp nest that was tethered to the hill.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Yeah, they're both just gone.
Huh.
Was it tethered to the war machine?
It was tied. It was like anchored into the hill,
Oh,
but it's gone now.
But it could have been transferred to the
Huh.
war machine, I guess.
very odd.
Well, at least we don't have to worry
Is
about
our
that
war
anymore.
machine still here?
Well,
Okay.
you
We
have,
have to
leave
go through the forest.
Oh, that's
but
right. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, might as well.
Make your way back through the forest.
Through the
You
non-coward's
find-
way.
Huh?
Through the non-coward's path.
Oh, through the
to be,
non-coward's
yeah,
path? Okay.
the hero's path is the one we're taking.
If you pick your way a
Fine.
different path through the forest, other than the one you came in, you encounter more of those moaning souls
Mhm.
impaled on trees.
Oh, goodies.
That you can pull off and they disintegrate into ash. But you make your
Self-disinterested.
way out of the forest and you see the Skull Lord hard at work repairing the war machine. And in fact, they have one of the harpoon launcher that was broken off. They
Mhm.
put that back on. And it looks like they've made some decent repairs to the machine.
I'm going to hold up the soul coin that I got. Say, we got one of these for you.
Carl says, "Good, because we weren't going anywhere if you didn't." And Cecilia just says, "Oh, shut it, Carl. Thank you very much. That's very helpful. Would you hand it here?"
In the morning, or whatever passes for morning around here, because we badly need to rest.
Okay, that's fine. I suppose we don't have anywhere better to be anyway, so we'll hang around and wait for you. That's fine.
I feel like anywhere is as good to rest as anywhere else here.
Should I make a mansion
That'd be interesting. If
for us to sleep in?
the plane will let you, yeah.
If the plane will let me? You think the plane won't let me?
Plane's been doing some weird things.
I mean, I've got a 9th level spell that I haven't used yet.
Sure.
Oh wait, no, I have used it? I guess I used it today. Never mind.
On what?
I don't remember, but it's
It's
marked
been a
off.
while.
It's marked off.
Do we use it to get here? Plane shift?
That's what it is. You haven't rested since you got here.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's right.
Yeah, that's it then. Never mind. I can't
I
use
have
my
it. No,
9th
I
level
don't.
spell anyway right now, so let's
We
just go to
took
bed.
a short rest, but not anything.
Yeah,
big.
we haven't taken a long rest yet.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So what are we doing? Out here or in the crypt?
Anywhere's as good as anywhere else, I think.
Think so?
Yeah.
We can duck into the forest a bit.
So you all gather up for the night to
Yep.
take a little rest. The lighting on the plane never changes, despite how long you've been here. It is still that steady orange glow, sort of as if the horizon is being lit by several different suns from different angles, something like that. But you manage to settle down. Somehow, you provide food for yourselves, whether it's by rations or if Thaddeus casts a spell for you. Either way, it tastes awful. It tastes like dust and dirt and ash in your mouth. A constant reminder that this place is awful.
But is it nutritious still? Even though
Still
it tastes-
nutritious.
Okay.
You don't get any less nutrition out of it.
If
It
I
is
cast
Say, yeah.
prestidigitation on it, does it make it better, or does it still
for
taste bad?
a second before it fades back to dust in your
Oh.
mouth.
Better than nothing.
Here's to surviving day one of Avernus.
Alright.
Cheers.
Good job, everyone.
Cheers.
And you bed down for
I'm
the
gonna
night
read
of
my
rest.
con book.
Yep. How long do you want to read it for?
So you have a buff body.
How long do I have to read it total before it takes effect?
Do I have it in here? Feels like
Is it-
20,
Oh shit.
24 hours or something in some time. I don't have it,
Oh, man.
but
I probably
Looking
do,
it up.
but it's
I
not.
remember reading the description.
20's a lot.
I thought it was something. It was like some number above
Quite
10,
a few.
I think.
Yeah.
But and it's like in a certain time frame as well.
In a certain time frame. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You didn't write it down?
No,
Just
because
handed
he
I just
got
handed
he
it
bought
to
it
you.
and then
Yeah.
just handed it to me.
48 hours over a period of 6 days.
Oh
That's
shit.
a lot.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna reduce it to 24,
Okay.
just because that's much more doable.
Yeah, because we're not gonna have really any.
So this is your
downtime.
first day. You put in a few
I
hours.
put
on
in
it.
2 hours earlier.
However long the traveling was, right?
Yeah, I
Basically.
have written down that I had 2 hours earlier, so I'm gonna do. I'll do like 3 more.
I'd say you could go up to 4 without taking like a level of exhaustion
Then I'll do 4
from
more.
your rest. Yeah. Which puts you at a total of 6.
6.
Okay, that's a quarter of the way there. That's not bad.
Yeah.
These are back.
You get your rest. The night passes, if you could call it a night. But, as is often the case in places like this, I need you to roll a saving throw of some kind.
Do we get our health fully
Can we decide what kind of saving throw it is?
Yeah, your health is fully restored. Everything that normally happens at a long rest happens.
Okay. And then we also need to roll a saving throw.
Yep.
I have a lot of
If I recall from the last time this sort of happened, you don't get my bonus from this.
Right, because your bonus is predicated on you being conscious.
Right.
And this is just sort of the time when all of you are resting. It is
the most spells I've ever used without taking a rest in a long time.
Yeah, we were not.
it is a wisdom saving throw.
Alright.
Oh, I rolled great.
Oh, me too. Well, we failed.
I might not have that. My wisdom's already pretty
Oh,
high.
mine's bad too.
Yako might be okay. You're fine.
Oh, Ethan?
Yep.
About my chaos amulet.
Yep.
Originally, it only had 10 charges and it recovered 1d8 plus 2 daily.
Yep.
But you gave me more charges when it leveled up. Do I get to roll more? Or is it still
how many
1d8?
charges does it have now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, you can do 1d10 plus 2.
Okay, thank you.
I got a 15 on that saving throw.
That's way better than me.
That's way better than me too.
I have proficiency in wisdom saves.
I got a 7.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
22.
Wow.
You don't get a high five.
Good job, good job.
After all.
24.
I'm writing something down. I'm going to give it to Harmony and Zant.
Great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow. Nice.
She always has something interesting to
What
do
do
on
we
her
win?
sheets.
What is this?
Is this for both of us?
Yep.
Oh no.
Just both take a look at it
Oh no.
Oh.
and just keep that in mind.
Your expression. Do I want to know?
I feel like I already do.
I know. I was laughing. I'm like, is this new?
It's going to be a bit accentuated for you.
Yes.
I was like, who's this for?
It's for both of us. I need to read it one more time.
Yeah. We'll just leave it in between
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So
Okay.
is our plan now to just go back to Mahadi and see if we can get an audience with Discord?
Well, I also think that it's worth trying to get Lulu to remember
Yeah,
where the sword is buried, because
Yeah.
then maybe Lulu might be our best chance.
it's true.
That's what I think.
Do we know? Do we?
Lulu.
So it's so ironic he picked an elephant that can't remember.
Yeah. An elephant never forgets, except for Lulu.
Except for Lulu. I mean, do we get the sense that Lulu's recovering more memories as the river stick stuff is wearing off, or is it actually based on how many friends? she's
Friendship
made?
points? Come on.
What you would have noticed is that the times that Lulu has recovered memory has been when a bond with one of you has deepened.
Mhm.
So there is something to like her connections to people. You don't know if like her making more friends would do it. But when you wake up after the long rest,
That's what I want.
Lulu says,
Okay.
Lulu was in kind of like a contemplative state. You don't know if she really slept. Like she seems like she was awake the entire night. But when all of you are grouping up and trying to think of your plans, Lulu says, well, if you think that my memories are key, there is something else I remembered. I don't know if it's important or not. I remember a pair of creatures. They were like birds, but without wings. Like black birds without wings. I don't think they could fly. They just had arms, and they were collecting scrap metal, and I remember talking to them and to someone else. I don't know. It's something.
I cast minor illusion of like one of the Kenku, like I saw it back in Ravenmore.
And yeah, she
It's
said,
like
yeah,
this?
something like that. There were two of them. And
Is
they
here
lived
on
in
Avernus?
Yes, they lived in a place. It was a fort, shaped like a bony fist. I remember it looked like a fist. And the Skull Lord, I think maybe it is Simon who speaks up for like the first time in a long time, and he just says, "Well, it sounds like Chukka and Clonk."
Chukka and Clunk?
Yep, Chukka and Clonk.
Great. Like Cobble and Loaf.
Yep.
Fond memories of those two.
And Cecilia then follows it up and says, "Oh, yes, I suppose it could be." And she turns to the group of you and says, "Chukka and Clonk are two creatures that serve another one of the warlords of Avernus. You've met Fëanor and another one of the warlords. She goes by the name Mad Maggie, and she lives in a fort called Fort Knucklebone. And Chukka and Clonk are two of her servants."
Fort Knucklebone.
Does she employ Kenku?
Yes, just the two.
Hmm.
They're her mechanics, as it were. They tend to her war machines. She's one of the foremost traders when it comes to
Knucklebone.
war machine upgrades and weaponry and things like that.
I hope there's a racetrack that we have to use to race her.
Well, that's two places we can go. We can go and try and get an archduke Discord, or we can go see Mad Maggie.
Is the Knucklebone Fortress? Is that on the way to the River Styx again?
No, not in particular, but it's not a long way out of the way, I
Oh.
suppose. As long as you'll fuel the machine, we're okay taking you wherever.
Yeah,
Is what we
and-
decided while you were in the crypt.
That is hands over a coin.
She takes it. And, what's his name? The mean one. Carl says, "Yeah, that's right. Give us all your coins."
That is on my coins.
And I'm talking to Lulu again. What exactly was your memory?
I just remember feeling lost, and then I met them, and then I felt less lost. I'm sorry,
Huh.
that's it.
That's fine. That's good.
Hopefully, maybe more will come back.
Maybe we can meet them and it turns out they're your friends.
Yeah, maybe. I do love friends.
We know.
Hopefully, you like hundreds of friends.
Have you met Moloch, by the way?
Oh, I don't think she like looks at him and then looks a little embarrassed and says, "I don't think that we'll get along." And Moloch kind of like is like leaning back to like try and stay away from her. He doesn't seem too keen on her either.
Well, I mean, but Moloch, come on. If you like be nice and
Look,
and
boss.
be friends with her, like maybe her memory will get better and we can figure out where the sword is and we can get the heck out of here.
Look, boss. It's nothing personal. Just on a fundamental level, I don't think me and this creature are get along.
You know, on a
If-
fundamental level, you and Thaddeus weren't meant to get along either, and now look
And
at
we
you.
don't.
That's right, that's exactly right. I think this is the only time we've ever agreed. We don't get along. We tolerate each other, obviously. If you're looking for another path to pursue, I have an ally on this plane we could go talk to. His name's Bell. He's a pit fiend. He runs a forge.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you tell
told
us this before?
He told us about
He's a
Bell.
former archduke of this lair before Zariel ousted him, and well, I mean, he was an ally for quite a long time. I think he'd help if we went there.
Where is he?
I mean, I can take you to his forge. And the Skull Lord pipes up and says, "Yeah, I mean, we know where Bell's forge is. Everyone knows where Bell's forge is.
Let's forge on ahead.
Let's make that plan C.
Or B. I'd much rather do that than make an audience with,
Men, maybe?
no,
No, the other one.
no,
Oh,
Discord.
Discord.
Especially if I have to die to get this death mark off of Discord, I'm thinking we should probably stay away.
Yeah, maybe.
Dying's not so bad. You've died before.
Yeah, but it's just because I've died before doesn't mean I want to do it again. And it doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed to come back either.
As long as I'm around, you are.
That's not necessarily true. You've seen the kind of curses around this place.
Yeah, I suppose. Just think of what he'd owe us, though, if you did that, and we managed to reverse it, so that you came back.
Who are you? Talking about owing people and debts and...
Yeah, you're right.
I can't believe you'd even say that. I'm out of here. I go to the other side of the car. Sit down angrily.
Hey, Lulu, come here.
Yes? What is it?
Hand her a bunch of treats.
Oh, the
Can
ones
you-
you promised me.
No, these aren't for you, but you can
What?
have one. But I want you to help me feed my pets.
Okay.
Okay, so I call Pinky.
Yeah, I mean, Pinky was at your side the second the food was around, so...
Pinky's.
Instead of food.
How many friends does she have now?
Is it feeding time, Master?
Yes, and be nice to Lulu.
Be her friend.
Of course,
Yes.
anything for you, Master.
Okay.
Pinky, the rat, kind of like bows. The rat that is comprised of a swarm of rats.
You like playing the rats too?
Lulu says to you, in your mind, "Oh, I don't know about these rats.
No, they're
There's
friendly.
something weird. They're missing their skull caps.
Well, everybody's got something, you know.
I don't
Some of
have
them-
anything, do I? What's my thing?"
It's sometimes it's visible and sometimes it's invisible. Don't be so judgmental.
Okay.
Pinky's great.
She looks sad at that. And she kind of shrinks back.
You're not helping.
You're not helping.
Mara's not here to make friends. She's here to win.
I'm touting
Um,
the
I don't
Lulu
like that
helps you feel
Good
you feel
try.
kinky, but it doesn't seem like she enjoys it very much.
Mara, that was it. That was it. That was maximum friendship
Well,
points.
there's still Biako.
Squandered. Oh yeah, Biako would love to be
Oh
here.
yeah.
Biako's
well,
great.
poor Pinky. He tried.
So, where to next?
Yeah, which place first?
Mad naive, I say.
You go there.
We don't
So
really.
I'd actually probably. Well, yeah.
I don't like Belle.
We
and
don't necessarily
Carmen
have
doesn't
to
like
talk.
Discord.
We don't necessarily have to talk to Mad Maggie. We just have to talk to these Kenku.
It's true.
Okay, we can try there first. That's fine.
Okay.
We can
I'm for
follow a trail.
The next stop would be Bell's Forge, and then we'll go to what's his face?
We can talk about it after Maggie's.
Okay, sure.
Carl speaks up as you're all kind of like clamoring into the scavenger again and says, "Hey, you've got money, right? Gold?
Yes.
Sometimes Chuck and Clonk will take it because it's shiny.
Mm.
You want to buy us some upgrades for our machine?"
Depends.
We'll talk about it.
And he just kind of like plops the coin into the slot, and the engine roars to life, and he kind of like pushes the pedal down, and like it just like vroom, vroom, vroom. He's like,
The wailing of the engine.
I have
"Good enough for me."
shiny
And
things.
the machine takes off across Avernus. I think that's a good place to end for tonight.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we'll have you guys visit Fort Knucklebone
Yes.
next time, I guess. All right.
Oof.
Talk
I wasn't
to
sure
the
which way you were
This
gonna go.
way. This way.
Thank you to anyone who came around to watch. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, same.
Well, Lanthius is creepy.
Yeah.
I got to be a lot of creepy people.
Not as
today.
creepy as the
I
flesh
know,
monster.
I
Yeah, it's definitely the
Yeah.
creepiest.
You guys could have got true names.
Well,
Maybe.
At what cost?
Who knows?
Maybe.
All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for playing. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.